As I was telling you, that's some very bad business, and this goes on. This could possibly go on, especially with an angry, riled State Department official. The State Department is the most powerful organization in our country, if not the world, aside from the Vauxhall River, MI6, who they take advice from. Building in the Vauxhall River, they are very, very powerful, man. The seal of the State Department, the 7th floor, very powerful, Aki. Even admiral or general or whatever, Pickering and ambassador and all that, people are scared to deal with the 7th floor of the State Department. The 7th floor, see that number 7, the 7 levels, and the Great Seal of the United States, it's held in Old Foggy Bottom. It's in the State Department, the Great Seal. State Department, all organs, CIA, DIA, JSOC, they are all tools of the State Department. Some tools are smoother tools, like a feather and a brush. Other tools are more rough. Other tools have thorns on them with a stick. Like Lee Kuan Yew called it, I have to take out the stick on you, which means is the authority of the ISD, the SID, and give you a slamming and a beating. Because you don't respect authority enough. Now we have to take out the stick. No, please, no, please, no. And they do. And they beat you like that. And you be like, and they beat you, and then you be like, this is what they do with the permission of these people right here, man. Can you believe some shit like that? The permission, tacit approval of people right here. You be like, yeah, to instill authority, their authority and supremacy over you. This is only one word, man, and the Jewish community knows about it. It's called fascism, man. Fascism. This is straight up fascism. Fascism. 100% fascism. Going on in the year 2009, 2013, fascism, man. The problem is you have Muslim majority governments. You go there and they get a word from their Caucasian or Anglo-Celtic, English, Scots, Irish friend in the U.S. Or sometimes what they'll do, if they're really Anglo-linked, the English, Anglo-Celtic, Scots, Irish, or Semitic person in the U.S. of those ancestries within the State Department organizations will give a call to the Vauxhall River building in the UK, and then they will use their contacts because the people that are in the Muslim majority countries went to school in London or Devonshire or Manchester or Edinburgh, Glasgow, Dublin, others, and they have an affinity for the beauty. Inwardly, they say they have an affinity for the British and their respect and their order, but inwardly they have an affinity for the physical beauty of the people, of the Celts. They love that, the way they look, the way they smell, the way they look like gods on earth. So that runs very deeply, viscerally down to the core of the heart, gut. Very visceral, very powerful. Their projection of their physical beauty, and they think that these people look like people of paradise, of Jannah. What you would imagine, paradisical physical features, just like the genetic engineers of the fictional Ridley Scott Prometheus. And if you look at the engineers, their skin is all porcelain, opaque and pale. That's a high evolution and sign of beauty. But the eyes were dark and bluish. So, that being said, they will call their friends in the Anglo world, England, London, whatever, and the London will call for their former colonial spheres in Africa, Asia, Middle East, who have an affinity for England, and then they'll torment you. They say, okay, yeah, we got our permission. The Americans say this. Okay, yeah. Give them the rough treatment. Take out the stick on it. It's bad business, man. It's bad business, man. There are very few countries that will actually dispute the opinion of London or whatever and say, no, we're not going to do what you tell us to do. No, we're not going to do it. We're going to do our own evaluation and our own credibility check and so on about the veracity of the individual. We're not going to do what you tell us to do. We'll come to a conclusion and treat the individual accordingly and fairly until we ascertain if there's any problem or not. We're not going to do the rough stuff and take out the stick. There are very few countries that will actually do that actually refute against the word of the U.S. intelligence apparatus and community or body, as well as the British UK intelligence community and body, that would actually refute and rebut against and say, no, we're not going to take out the stick on this person or a group of persons until we determine in our own way and methods, without any force, and using our own techniques, cultural and other techniques, without any force or imprisonment, to find out whether these persons are really a problem or not. We're not going to take out the stick. Whereas in England or UK, if they don't like you, say it could be one analyst, and you embarrass that analyst, and that analyst will make your life hell for the embarrassment. They may have got demoted, they may have gotten shifted to the ass end of Antarctica or South America because of you exposing their deliberate flaws or malfeasance. They may have gotten demoted, man, back to some place in Africa they don't like, when they were in a prime spot, when they were living, because it goes by ranking, is a hierarchy of postings. And the better postings are in the bigger metropolitan exotic areas like Hong Kong, you know, or there's an analyst based in Tokyo. You know, those are safe places that are close allied with the U.S. Or in Taipei, you know, the CIA, the case officer, you know, just like the brother, the Scots-Irish gentleman, fellow American Hicks, who ran the thing in Benghazi. Those are like the ass end assignments. Those are the higher pay assignments, but those are because of the risk. But those are the ass end, you know, assignments. You know, only the most experienced, the hardened core people, the hardcore people, they would send to those places. Really tough. You know, but otherwise, the other postings, like I mentioned, Hong Kong, or you're in Taipei, you know, you're the case embassy, you know, security of mission, and of mission, this, that, or this type of purpose, or if you're in Tokyo. You're in Seoul, you know, Seoul a little bit risky being in possibly North Korea, but in Tokyo, or you're down in Manila, or another one, you're in Bangkok, all those spots, because food, women, wine, everything is cheap, man. Everything's dirt cheap, and you're making over $150,000 US dollars, or close to $200,000 US dollars a year, man. You're like a king, man. Like a king. And a lot of guys, they're not married, but you see their faces are flush, their skin, their radiance is robust, their hair is good, cropped, everything good and smooth. The food is so cheap, and they're getting also their sexual thrust in them countries, man. Yeah, all the way down to Bangkok, down to Hanoi, and Phnom Penh, whatever, you know, down to you know, Batam, Jakarta, and you know, Singapore, all that, you know, going down all through there. You know, the ones that are even based in Auckland is in all that. All those are very good spots, man, to be what you would call posted for foreign service, because you have also CIA case officers in all those places. What they call foreign service, man. Those are very good positions, man. Close to 100 and something thousand, 150, some of them close to 200,000 a year. Very good positions, man. Very, very, very good positions. And come to like people like myself, we can't get those positions because of our physical, our structure, and you know, like what they would call Cro-Magnon or Neanderthal, and having too African, too African of an appearance. You know, which doesn't rub a lot of the Anglo-Celts. They don't feel that comfortable with that. You know, it's so African of an appearance. So we usually those jobs we can't get them. We can't get them. Even the menial foreign service posts, we can't get. Like they had one thing for somebody who would just be an apartment guide for new officers that were being placed for foreign service. You would look for apartments and settle them and tour them around for apartments and condos that would already be paid for in addition to their salary. You know, things like that. Very, very sweet position. Those positions paid like $4,000 a month. 3,000 something a month, 4,000, 5,000 a month at the most. Good position because of the locations, man. Yeah, very good position. So some of the most desirable spots, as I told you, I like Taipei, Bangkok, you know, places like that. You know, Jakarta, other places. Those are the desirable spots because the cost of living is lower, and also those countries are allied with us. With the U.S. They need things from us.